Right. Okay. How's it going?
Good. 2020. This is where all your big ideas and all your big claims.
Big ideas.
This is where you got to act. See,
It's funny,
me, a thinking man, made no plans for
Couldn't
2020.
think of anything to do.
Didn't have any aspirations for this year.
The way of the thinking man.
So
not even waking up.
I don't have to do anything.
My dream is to wake up in the morning. Yours is like, no, just no.
I'll get there. Where? I don't know.
I'll just kind of be here.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. No. Yeah. Feeling good.
Yeah.
In a somewhat weird way.
What was your New Year's? Because you were originally going to be with us, but shit happened.
Oh, I don't know. Usual. Usual. Alone.
Well, you had your dog.
Shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shot with the dog.
Which is the best company.
This is true. I can't even remember what I did. It wasn't. I didn't do anything special.
No.
I think I was just doing podcasty. I was editing.
Yeah.
And doing.
Do you stay up for New Year's? Or are you one of these people that doesn't bother and just goes to bed?
Well, my body clock is I go to bed at like 5 a.m. So
right.
I was awake during it.
Yeah.
But
not necessarily giving a shit.
Yeah. No, I think I even had a nap and woke up at like 11:45. It's
weird to go to sleep and wake up next year.
Yeah, I got a mate. I don't know why I find it funny, but he's adamant that it's still 2019.
Why?
He just is. He's just like, happy 33rd of December 2019, everybody. What's
yeah.
Nothing's changed.
All right. That counts.
Just fighting that fight. I'm like, hey, that's a fight I can get behind.
Yeah, time.
Yeah.
Fighting time.
It's still last year. Is it? Yeah. But it isn't. That's what they want you to think. Change everything. Yeah. No, I didn't do anything special for New Year's. You did. You had to put a quiet one in.
Yeah, I had a quiet one in. It was. We were going to be going to Sheffield, but because of various family problems on my wife's side, we decided to stay here and have a quiet one. What?
I find it funny because you've mentioned it twice now in two different episodes, and each time you've gone, it's my wife's side.
Yeah.
I just find that funny. I know it's factually
Well, I don't
accurate.
want people feeling bad for me.
Sure. Yeah, fine. I just like, it's like, there's loads of problems. Yeah, not my side. Her side.
Not like that.
Problems! I know it's not like that, but it's just funny. But it's the same way I find it funny when people like tell you who they, the typical one is like who they voted for.
Oh, right.
They'd be like, well, I voted for blah, blah, blah. And I still think this is like, who cares?
Used as a way of justifying. Like,
yeah,
well,
or just like I haven't got problems.
Yeah.
It's over there.
As a Clinton voter.
Yeah. Just like, all right, just throw that bit in. As a Gemini. I am a Gemini, but I don't know what I am actually. I think I'm a goat. I'm either a Capricorn or a Sagittarius, and I think they're both like really far apart.
I am a mermaid.
Aquarius?
Virgo.
Virgo's a mermaid.
Apparently.
I thought it was a pot. Pot's Aquarius. Aquarius, a pot of water.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Could have been like a sea monster or something cool. You're just a cup.
Yeah, you're just a clay shit of the earth, really.
Yeah.
Filled with piss. Yeah, you're not doing anything for New Year's. As in your New Year's resolutions was nothing, wasn't it?
The only thing that I've said that I do plan on sticking to for health reasons and whatever else is no smoking in 2020. Like full stop.
That's fair enough.
Just e-cig, like nothing, but like no. Yeah, no cigarettes.
Right. So, do you want to commit to that?
Yes.
Okay, and you want me to enforce that?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I know that I'm sometimes the bad influence, but I've also stopped smoking.
Yeah.
And I just find it funny when responsibility is handed over to me to stop you from doing something that you want to do, and I can think of many creative ways.
Yeah.
To stop
No.
it.
Like the thing. Like as long as I've solidified that in my mind as like, no, this is what I'm going to do, I shouldn't really have much trouble. It's really just it's the only thing I can think is potentially when I've been drinking.
Yeah, certain social situations. I mean, when we went to a gig and it was like, we're at a gig, we're out, we're drinking, it's all, and this is easy, much better, nice to have a break and go out and smoke and stuff like that. But an e-cig is just as fine.
Yeah.
It's just, there's that part of your brain that wants to crave back to disposing of all responsibility.
Yeah, yeah.
And now some of that responsibility is with me, and I'm allowed to punch you in the face.
No, well, this is the first time. Like when I've thought about it before, this is the first time I've been outwardly to people like I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, I texted someone.
I think that's caused like commitment issues to it in the past.
I texted someone recently and was like, "Yeah, I've stopped smoking today or something," and she was like, "Oh, like for good." I was like, I never thought about it in that definition before, where I think when you think about stopping an addiction or stopping something, you think about it just in the really short term. Where if you go like, are you actually giving up for life? Then that's your brain makes those makes connections a bit differently. And then for a year at least, again, your brain's kind of got that agreement with itself.
It's interesting. Like I specified the year because I think that's much more of an attainable goal than I'm just not going to do it anymore. Yeah. Like it puts a border around it. Whereas like I think when on Rogan's podcast when he was talking to Artie Lang, Artie he's obviously been a drug addict like for the majority of his adult life and whatever, and he said like the programs that he's been on, they've all said it's really bad for you as an addict to say I'm giving up for good. It's better to say that I am an addict, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm clean. I'm not taking pills.
Because then if you do slip back, then you see yourself as a failure and it crushes and it spirals and stuff like that. Not going to comment on your slippers.
2020 I need new ones, to be fair.
The tartan.
Have you never noticed those? I've had those for like 2 years.
Never noticed shoes.
No?
No.
I noticed yours. I noticed you never wear them properly.
This one's on properly.
That one is. That one isn't.
That one's not. 2020, step by step.
Just literally.
I forgot about another thing that I tried to do 2 years ago. I'm going to start doing again is evaluating every day. So writing every evening for like a half an hour before you go to sleep. Just not like kind of like a diary kind of thing, but more just like a journal of just being like, right, what did you do today that was good?
Yeah.
Where did you fail that you could improve?
Yeah.
Comedy writing's trying to figure like ideas I've had that I want to pursue so I've got it concrete.
That
kind of thing.
That's one of those things that always crops up in those habits of successful people's kind of lists. Like people, like the ability to self-evaluate, like even on a short-term basis, where you just do a little bit every day, and what did you do today? What do you need to do tomorrow?
Yeah, it's just being your own manager.
Yeah,
and I've said before that in social situations, I tend to feel like the single dad of a lot of things. I've just been like, okay, is everyone here? Okay, cool. Right, we need to be there by this time.
Yeah.
Okay, how's everyone getting there? How are you getting back? All that kind of stuff. So I'm good at doing it with other people. I just need to do it more so with myself. So just being like, just every day kind of jot stuff down and, try and make every day an improvement, a step in the right direction. Like I said before, do one thing every day to improve something. Be like, oh, you can jot it down and do that kind of stuff. So I start doing that. Then, it just feels good. And then today, from here, I think I said before, there's a comedy night in Birmingham that I want to go check out.
You're going straight there from here?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I might go left. Sent them an email and it was a message to see what time they were open because it wasn't that clear on their site. And they were like, 8:30. If you want a spot, you can just come up. I've got a spot next week if you want to come up and perform. It's like, fuck's sake.
Now I've got to see you.
Now it's just like, all that avoidance of being like, it's so difficult to get, so hard to find gigs to go up and stay. I've asked a comedy night what time they open, and they've been like, do you want a spot next week? And it's like, it's funny, and I'm going there because it's really good for beginners and getting people applicable to everyone kind of thing. And I'm just going down to check it out. But Thursdays are a really bad day for me in my standard week. So, because I'm really busy with work stuff. So it's like, can I get down to Birmingham in time to do stuff? Can I get there early and have Wi-Fi and all this kind of shit?
Yeah.
But just go and check that. And that seems like quite an interesting thing to do because I can't, as easy as it is to avoid responsibility and avoid getting into things, if it's just it's harder to reject that.
Yeah.
When it's just been like, hey, do you want it?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to take the weekend and try. I've already got something that I want to try, but it's just like, it just feels good.
That's good.
do something.
Yeah.
It's all procrastination is all it is. It's just, as I've started to get, the problem is if I activate, I become something.
Yeah.
Something murderous, something adrenaline fueled, and it's just like I've been hibernating for a long time. It's going to be strange if I actually let loose the gorilla demon side, which is the true me side.
I think it's just establishing regularity. Like if you're going to do it next week, when you're there or when you finish, you should decide when you're going to do it next.
Yeah. Well, it's just the whole. Just do it as often as you can. So like from there, be like, when can I do it next, and what's all that kind of what the plan would be. But yeah, the biggest danger is just if I start to be happy. Just, I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, but realistically, when's that ever going to happen?
Yeah. My idea of happy. I don't know how fucked up I am, but my idea of happiness is filming. I think. There was a music video. What was that song that I think we hated, but I especially MSI?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it'd be great to do a music video to this, of me just killing everyone who's enjoying this song. But then it was like, will it attract the song or something like that? That's where my joy lies, just in murderous rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to do stuff. So I think that'd be fun. And yeah, I think the key part of that is just keeping on top of organisation, kind of doing that kind of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
On to some news stuff. I don't know how funny you'll find this, but unlucky drivers in Washington State saw in the new year trapped under an avalanche of tumbleweeds. So New Year's Eve, they were just like driving around Washington State.
Yeah.
And just 15-foot tall tumbleweeds attacked them and trapped them, and they couldn't get out.
How are you trapped? I thought tumbleweeds were just like they
lights?
blow away in the wind.
Into cars. Yeah, they just got stuck, trapped in 15-foot tall. I guess if they latch onto you and you're wedged, you can't really open the door because while they may be light, they may be quite elastic. You might not be able to break your way free.
Yeah.
But tumbleweeds are just synonymous with awkwardness and silence and boredom. And just to start off 2020,
just trapped
buried
under them. Yeah.
Buried in awkwardness. 2020.
Yeah.
That just made me laugh. In other news, you'll love this. The majority of people who have visited the world's first poetry pharmacy have been looking for help to mitigate the stresses and strains of modern life.
Poetry pharmacy?
Yeah, they got an ambulance. They got a poetry ambulance.
They bring you poems.
Yeah. They prescribe you poetry.
Oh, for goodness sake.
My leg! Oh, he needs a sonnet. Stat.
Yeah.
Shit.
I've been involved in like poetry organisations in the past, and for spoken word stuff, like I'm quite a fan. I quite like it, but that's fucking stupid.
And it can be beneficial. Like poetry, art, creative outlets.
Yeah.
You can hear a musical lyric and that could change your life. But it's not like if you're bleeding or if you're depressed or if you've got a mental illness, yes, you should seek out outlets to try and express yourself. But I don't know whether if I was looking for help and someone read me a poem and just murderous rage, just no, you should do something else. The fact that they've got an ambulance.
Yeah.
Is the thing that gets me. Just quick to the poetry mobile. Big giant William Shakespeare walking through New York City. I thought of the thing that couldn't harm us most. Billy Shakespeare.
Fucking poet. Roses are red, violets are blue. 50 cc's of adrenaline might help you.
A different version of Crank. Based in Shropshire, in the town of Bishop's Castle, it is the brainchild of poet Deborah Ulmer, who prescribes poems, not pills, to her patients. Miss Ulmer, who's a poet herself,
did they ask for pills? And she just shows up in the poetry mobile.
But this is the mobile. I get how helpful art can be to help you process a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, music is the big thing for me. I can find songs that can really help me understand what I'm feeling and express how I'm feeling. But this woman, she sits down and does like a GP's diagnosis with somebody, asks them some questions, and then prescribes them a poem.
Yeah.
Just like, what you might be thinking is this.
Here she comes. Poem, 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 poem.
Yeah. Haiku, haiku, haiku. The helicopter. Haiku, haiku, haiku. Just, it can help. It can help. I'm not shooting it down, but it's just, it feels so arrogant.
Yeah.
My poetry saves lives. No, it might, but just, can you not, don't be an emergency service poem.
It's someone with a fucking liberal arts degree trying to seem useful.
Yeah. She said, I think there's a skill in what I do, getting the right poem to the right person after getting to know them a bit and talking to them. Yeah, it can help, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe we're just being too critical of something that's trying to be a positive influence.
Well, it's let's say, actually, I don't even think I agree with this, but let's say it's no less useful than a photographer. But even a photographer is not going to save your life.
Yeah.
Like, it can be helpful, but like, it's not, I just don't.
If there was a photography ambulance, you'd just be like, fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
Just get a car.
Yeah. You're not helping the epileptic.
Yeah. Yeah. You might help the dementia, right? You might help people get their memories back, but don't dress yourself up as a savior of souls.
No.
Just be like, I like to help people.
Then maybe
what's
we got the tone wrong. Maybe it's a gimmick, and she's not trying to like save the world. Maybe she's not taking herself that seriously. I don't know.
Bought an ambulance though.
Yeah, but you would, right? Like if you had a skill if you had a skill or something.
I hate ambulance.
That was in no way useful to anybody, and you're like. And you classed yourself as a medical professional for comedy reasons, you would buy an ambulance.
Maybe, yeah. I'm completely open to... what do you think?
Why would you buy an ambulance?
We hate this, but maybe we're jaded. Who knows? Quick one here. Sharon Stone was blocked from a dating app because people didn't think she was Sharon Stone. Which is kind of understandable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Tom Cruise went on Tinder, Tinder might be like, well, this is a fake profile.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know how to bypass. I sent you a picture of myself and you still don't believe me.
I am valid.
Yeah.
I am me.
Yeah.
Let me in. It was Bumble. And then she tweeted being, I don't know what it is.
I thought Bumble was if you're gay.
I've no idea.
Isn't Bumble a gay service, or am I wrong? Oh, no. No, wait. Oh no, I can't remember.
I have no idea.
There's one.
Some form of
no, it's Grindr over here, isn't it? But I think Bumble's the one where women approach you, and it's to stop men being aggressive or something like that. So like, you can have men can have a profile on there, but only women have to make the first move. I think something like that. I think that's Bumble.
Feels strange form of dating.
It's
probably existed throughout. Like, men were always meant to approach a woman in a bar in the 50s or whatever.
Like in a way, I think it's designed to it's designed to make women feel safer. I suppose. I don't know why you need to feel safer on your phone.
Really, it's just giving them fault. Being like, if the relationship goes bad, your fault. You found me.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess to a lot of people, maybe it exercises a kink if women like being more dominant in a relationship.
Of like hunting someone.
Yeah, like
maybe.
Well, like yeah.
Bumble.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, she was deleted, and then they brought her back. And Sharon Stone's kind of like that, right? I've never seen Basic Instinct, but isn't she some kind of murderer? I don't know. She's being interrogated.
I've never
for
seen.
something.
Yeah, I've never seen that film. I just know all the tropes from it.
Yeah,
the tropes. The one trope.
Yeah, that's just got parodied.
Yeah,
forever. Okay, on to some audience participation. On April 11th, 2019, an Israeli-based company called Space.il attempted to land a small robotic lander named Beersheet on the moon. As the lander descended towards the moon's surface, the engine stopped firing, and without the engine to slow its descent, it just smashed into the moon.
Okay.
But when it crashed, it may have distributed microscopic creatures from Earth called tardigrades.
Oh, water bears.
Yeah, across the lunar surface. Tardigrades, sometimes referred to as water bears, are widely known for their ability to withstand extreme conditions.
They're ridiculous. They are unreal.
Including the moon.
Yeah. They can live in lava. Like they're ridiculous.
Well, I believe you could live in lava more than you could live on the moon. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
there's still extremes. There's not much in it, but there's more bad on the moon, right? There's just less air. Like you would just
there's no air, no atmosphere, so very cold,
fall apart. Like the cold. I can understand.
It cold?
Yeah.
But
I think when they put the flag in, it got frostbite or something.
Yeah, but I thought, isn't there always that thing where, like, if you don't have the sun visor on your helmet, like, it can just burn your retinas?
Yeah. Probably bright. I think it depends.
Yeah.
Well, it probably depends on when the sun's on the moon, it's probably hotter, and then the dark side, it's like frozen.
Yeah. And I think you have to, I might be wrong, I think you have to land on the dark side. Because otherwise you'll just perish.
Otherwise the water bears will get upset. They can live in extremely high and low pressures, high radiation, air deprivation, and they can withstand starvation, which doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I guess they just hibernate.
Like, can you withstand starving to death? Like, you can withstand not eating for a long time, but isn't starvation like... I guess it's a disease.
Well, I thought it was a thing with water bears where they've been found like in ice and preserved for like thousands and millions of years, and then they come, you thaw it out, and they're just like, oh, they go into like a stasis, I guess.
Yeah. So they're on the moon.
It's a very simplistic organism. Like it doesn't require a lot to keep it going. It's only a couple of cells.
Yeah, so I can understand why it wouldn't need to eat very regularly. I heard a crocodile and it needs to eat once a year.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, it's like, fair enough.
Yeah, but then I
guess a water bear,
reptiles, they can just be incredibly dormant.
They can just
don't want to get hungry. So they don't make any noise. They don't get bored.
Looking at the new apps, something to occupy my brain.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up at 8 a.m. Stupid reptiles. In other news, short news, the US Department of Agriculture listed Wakanda as a free trade partner, despite it being a fictional country.
Yeah, I saw that. They've since taken it off.
Yeah, after
Poor
people
Wakanda.
pointed it out.
Yeah,
it's not real.
I see. Well, like I didn't know if they'd done it by mistake. I assumed they'd done it as a joke.
It could just be a joke. There's going to be some kind of hero. Within the government that's going to be like, Wakanda.
Yeah.
I just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said they would trade ducks, donkeys, and dairy cows. All the D's.
No technology. Seems like you'd trade technology with Wakanda. Just trade stuff we've already got.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Super ore. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
And in other news, this one I found a little bit misleading. Whenever I get sent up, I always like to look into it. But the article was headed, "Father fined for yelling at bullies who were throwing rocks at his son." Oh. So kids were throwing rocks at his kid. He, according to this, yelled at them.
And he got fined.
If
that's all there is to it, then that's stupid. But I imagine there's more.
It is stupid, but I can kind of understand it as well.
How do you stop?
You take your kid away.
Okay.
Like, there's a difference between you yelling at someone and me yelling at someone. Like, I'll just untap rage or whatever. And it was just like, that can be somewhat intimidating to a very small... I don't know how old the kid was, but say he was 6. Imagine me screaming in the face of a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool. That's like,
no,
you shouldn't do that. You should know that children are children, and yes, you should diffuse a situation, and yes, you should walk away.
I've scared my fair share of kids.
Yeah, same.
No, again, not on purpose, but it's because most of the time, like, I'm just really placid. Like this, so it's the not dichotomy. It's the contrast, I guess.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
for example, my nephew would. I never yelled at my nephew at all for anything, and there was at some point where he was like 4, maybe 5, and I think he had a ball or something, and he was throwing it at the TV, I asked him to stop, and he kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then I yelled to stop, and he immediately just burst into tears, because of like that contrast where this guy that had always been chill and he'd never known to yell, raise his voice or anything like that, had suddenly like changed. Like, so I think, I can understand why it might be intimidating.
It's not the ideal reaction.
No.
It's understandable.
Didn't do it again.
It's understandable to yell at kids.
Yeah.
To yell at somebody.
But if you do it too much, they stop caring.
Yeah. But it's also, it's very intimidating for the child, for an adult person to scream at them. But there is more to it. I mean, in April earlier this year, the father's boy was at a skateboard park out in Stockholm, near Stockholm. The boy was being abused by the gang, and he called his father over. Abused, I think, is rocks being thrown. The boy's father began scolding the gang, grabbing one of the bullies and pinning him against the ramp.
Oh, okay, no.
So it's like, you can't grab a kid and
you can't
hold him against a wall.
No.
Like, obviously he should be fined for that. There's kind of no question in my mind.
No,
I would argue that you could be fined for yelling at the kid, but if you're grabbing him and holding him up against a wall and then screaming at him,
if
could be the right thing. Could be the right thing to do in that situation.
Yeah.
But it's still not legal.
I would advocate yelling at the kids if you're in a situation where like you can see what's happening. So like your kids like over there, they're over there, and you can see that they're throwing rocks. Like, you don't have time to get to your kid before he's been hit by more rocks. I would happily advocate for yelling at the kids to ward them off while you go and get your kid. Like that, no question, I would be fine with that. But yeah, no, you can't put your hands on other people's kids, man.
I mean, I'd still
like, not unless you're physically taking them off your kid. Like, then I wouldn't, and still don't pin them against a wall.
But even then, you may want to do it, and it could be beneficial to society that this person has been put in their place, so to speak. But you have to accept that you're going to suffer punishment for it. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, it's the same.
At the same time, I don't have a kid. I cannot speak for what I would do in that situation.
I'd just kill them.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you know what I mean?
so
Yeah,
like, you know
no
that
idea.
you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. But if you're in that situation, like, yeah, no, that's my kid. I don't care about you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just go, it's just, yes, it may be punishing and it may be illegal and you have to accept that it's wrong, but you have to also accept that maybe it's right that you're doing it. I mean, this is the argument I get into a lot of the time with stuff with, I think Crowder did one recently of a change my mind that affirmative action is racist. Okay. He was doing that as a thing. And you go, yeah, it's racist, but it's a good thing. Back in the day. Maybe it's not recommended now.
Yeah.
When there was loads of racism and there was lots of segregation, it may have been good for society to forcibly integrate different races to get on with each other and work with each other.
Yeah, when it was necessary.
The sacrifice of some of the better people getting the job. I can understand that argument.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is racist because of what it is, but maybe it was good for the time. Maybe it's not as much needed now. I mean, there's still racism, but maybe it's not. Maybe that's not the right thing to do anymore. But at the time, you go, I can understand why you would want to forcibly integrate people. So it's like, yes, it is wrong, but it might have been the right thing to do. It may have been maybe illegal,
but it's the same as a bunch of laws that haven't changed. Like I don't know how I don't really know how it is over here, but you're constantly hearing of stuff in the States about like divorce laws being like heavily in favor of the mother because the mother didn't used to work and she used to be in charge of the house. So like without the primary kind of breadwinner, she didn't really have any way to make money because her living was taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, like cooking, cleaning, darning socks, like all of these skill sets that mothers don't necessarily need anymore because they work. Socks. Well, that's always the one that you hear about.
Example. I've never heard it before. It's like those socks are
like making the mother used to make clothes for their kids.
Yeah,
like so it makes sense because you're taking away they're the only way that they had to make money. But to not update those laws in the modern day is stupid, because women work and they can work and have been able to work for a long time.
Well, there was a thing, wasn't that one of the campaigns from feminist groups to try and while they were looking for equality and that, they were trying to make sure that women didn't lose their children in a divorce. And maybe traditionally they were losing their children more or something. Something
maybe.
Like that.
I think.
And you go like, I think that most laws should probably be reevaluated. Every now and then. But then I guess you can argue, well, what's the point of having a law if it's going to change in a couple of years? But it's going in the right direction.
Everything has to evolve, though. It's the same way as you have like your beliefs need to evolve.
Yeah.
That's people's primary issue with religion. Is like, well, you've got a set of rules and ideals like around science, and when something's proven wrong, we don't stick to it anymore. We do whatever the new thing is. But like, your idea of religion like is inflexible.
Yeah.
In a sense. And that's the big critique of that. And it should be the same with laws. As soon as something is proven ineffective, whether it's morally or physically or whatever, then it needs to be changed.
Well, I think everyone once they think something, anything challenged to it gets, which is kind of human nature. You can't constantly question everything. Did you see the thing about Greta Thunberg this week?
No.
How old is she? I can't remember. She's like 16.
16, I think.
Something like that. And a comedian on the last leg, I forget her name, said something along the lines of, I feel bad that she's out there working. She should be doing what all teenagers do, getting drunk and getting fingered. You know,
okay.
A joke like something like that. And people like, how dare you?
It's like, yeah, but
everyone's really angry. It's like, are you denying this girl her sexuality? Are you denying her social? But that people like see her as a saint.
Yeah,
I've got no opinion of her.
You put her on a pedestal. Yeah. It's like, no, she's still a person.
16-year-old girl. There's nothing wrong with being sexually active or looking for love or looking for fun or whatever you're doing. But people go, no.
But the stupid thing is that's just a gauche way of saying what loads of people have been saying anyway. That like it's that it's a bit weird that she's almost sort of been denied a childhood, whether she's done that to herself or not. Like not denying her autonomy.
But people my point with that was people just, as soon as they get the framework of a box to put their idea in, they're very difficult to get out, whether it's Greta Thunberg's a saint or she's above all of us or whatever it is, or whether it's this is a crime and you'll never be forgiven, or it's this and it's that. People just eventually find themselves in a box and they go, I'm tired. I live in this box now. You know.
And as you get older, it's much more difficult to change your beliefs and stuff are much less malleable. It becomes more of a challenge.
Yeah, I think it's unhealthy. I think it's healthy to challenge your ideas and beliefs all the time.
100%. It's difficult.
But it's not practical.
No,
you know what I mean? Once you have kids,
you can't challenge everything that you believe on a constant basis. Like you wouldn't get anything done.
Well,
it should be the same as...
Even if you were constantly thinking about something.
In an ideal world, it should be the same as science. You go with this until it's proven that it doesn't work, and then you go with that.
Yeah. Like we've just got people into hybrid cars. Now you want us to get them into electric cars?
Well, that's just it. Like the electric cars, it's again, that's a thing as well. There's a bunch of people being like, well, but like... lithium mines, all these kids having to work in lithium mines to make all these thousands and millions of batteries that we'll need to make. It's like, I understand, but it's a step. It's you can't just be like, well, we'll stick with fossil fuels forever because this thing has this bad thing attached to it. It's like
not everything is 100% morally correct.
Yeah, with fossil fuels, we used to send kids to mine coal. Like we haven't done well. I don't know about in like outside of the Western world.
iPhones used to send people to suicide factories.
Yeah,
it's like it's never been something that's never been done.
Well, they still they still do, but it's like you're not going to give up your phone, are you? So like we need to work together to find a way around that. But it doesn't. You can't just eliminate steps because they've got bad things attached to them. Like,
no, it's just the same thing. People just in their head. Once they get in that box, I think it's very difficult to get someone out. It's very difficult to pull somebody out of that box or to get them to talk about something outside the box. They have to venture out into the darkness alone. Anyway, that guy that yelled at that kid, he threatened to knock the bully's teeth out.
Ugh,
so he kind of should be done. He was being charged with abusing a minor I mean, maybe it's not out of the question. Grabbing him, holding him against a wall, screaming at him, telling him he's going to smash his teeth in. Illegal threats, which implies there's legal threats. And fraud. No idea.
Fraud? He's not really going to knock his teeth out. He's a fraud.
He wasn't. He was there, but he wasn't there. He said he was a different name.
Fraud.
I don't know.
What the hell?
The charges for abusing a minor and illegal threats were dropped.
But the fraud.
It implies that the fraud was kept up. What's fraudulent?
You're not really his dad.
Yeah, maybe. The only thing I can think of is maybe like during the arresting process.
Oh, I'm Superman. Can't arrest me.
Yeah. He's got to pay $2,000.
That guy's a phony.
You big fat phony. And lastly, from the audience this week, during the Falklands War, the British Navy killed 3 whales thinking they were submarines.
Oh, God.
2 of them at once, because they had sonar, and sonar doesn't like pick up such a submarine.
Picks up massive. Oh man, they just blew up whales. Oh,
fire! Oh no,
that submarine's bleeding.
But so I understand that one, right? There was an event where they picked up 2 masses, they fired upon them.
Submarine, and look, a little baby submarine.
They've got some crazy technology. Argentina.
They're breeding. There's a whole pod of submarines.
Singing a song.
Hunting a seal.
Screaming. So yeah, I can understand that one. They just say, look, the technology of the time. We thought it was a submarine.
You're blind essentially apart from sonar, aren't you? Like,
yeah. So, but they hit them. They blew them up.
Good.
And
good.
the third one was from a helicopter, which I don't understand. Quick, that submarine's blowing out air.
A big shadow, a bit. What?
Lying on top.
So when was this?
The Falklands War, which I forget. I think it was like 70s.
So you'd have an
82.
idea of a whale, I guess, but
by 1982, you must have understood the idea of a whale.
But we're from a perspective of having now a few decades of really detailed nature documentaries, where we all know what a whale is and the size and the silhouette and everything like that. Like,
yeah, there's not many whales in the British Isles.
Yeah,
they don't come up the Thames that often. They do every now and then.
Remember that.
Now and then, but that's only recently.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, how does a helicopter blow up a? I guess they had missiles.
Yeah, yeah.
It says they blew. 2 were killed by torpedoes.
Air-to-sea missiles, I guess.
The 3rd was attacked by one of the ship's helicopters.
I've seen rockets on a helicopter.
Yeah, in the 80s, maybe.
Yeah, I suppose you just see a big silhouette, and they are huge.
Could have been dark.
Like they're like 20 meters. They're like the length of a swimming pool. Yeah. I guess it makes some sense.
Well, the reason these are sorry, I forgot. The submarine and the helicopter that killed these whales were part of the HMS Brilliant. HMS Brilliant, we just blew up a 3rd whale. HMS Brilliant. That's not cool, man.
No, it's brilliant.
All these whales telling horror stories of the Brilliant that came destroyed my whole family. They released a diary of the logs of what happened on that ship.
Anne Frank. Oh, not the whales.
Kaboom. The crew members wrote kind of Band of Brothers kind of stuff to commemorate what would happen on it. One crew member wrote of a small sonar contact that prompted the launch of 2 torpedoes, each of which hit a whale.
Baby's first words.
He noted dryly, "Whale oil sighted by Sea King," which was a helicopter. I think I'll join Greenpeace. Oh. So I think as he blew up these whales, he was like, "Oh, maybe I need to karmically
it would suck.
Fix this." Yeah, pretty rough. It'd be hard to kill a whale. It'd feel bad to. I think if you were intentionally doing it, you'd be mentally prepared. But accidentally doing it is like, oh no. We thought we were killing people. Not whale.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fair enough. The article did give a link to a video of a whale being detonated with dynamite. But I've seen
like
that
the
video
dead
before.
whales?
Yeah, like on the beach.
Yeah, they have to, because otherwise they explode anyway, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know how true that is. I know it's been said as true.
Well,
but like explode is probably different to dynamite.
Yeah, not. I guess not violently.
Just like
well,
air
there,
pockets.
Is there any explosion that isn't violent? All explosions are violent in some way, aren't they?
Lemonade.
Yeah.
Is lemonade violent?
Maybe.
Can be. Depends.
Yeah, like there've been multiple times where like instances of whales being carried through streets on the back of trucks, like being taken away from the beach or whatever, and the gases get to the point where they detonate and it just coats all the buildings in blubber and all of this shit.
They're trying to like cover up a terrorist attack. No, it was a whale.
Yeah.
The dead whale walking through the street that exploded, not some guy. It's fine.
Yeah.
I read that, speaking of violent lemonade, when I was in school, I got told to put salt in a fizzy drink and that removes the fizz, which it does.
Does it?
But it also makes it taste like salt.
Yeah.
So I thought I was like, fizzy drinks are meant to be fizzy.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the enjoyment.
I didn't know
if
that.
you have a flat drink, it doesn't feel very good.
Does that mean that it's impossible to carbonate seawater?
I don't. You have hot springs, didn't you? The springs have salt in it.
Yeah, but they're not fizzy. They're just hot.
They're bubbling.
It's air or some kind of gas.
What's in fizzy then?
CO2.
It's part of air, isn't it?
But it's. I don't actually know exactly how it works, but it's sort of injected. I guess.
I'm starting to come round to sparkling water.
Oh, you don't like it?
I never did.
I never liked it as a kid.
Trusted it.
I quite like it as an adult. When I was
you drink gin.
It's good if you so like I've used it when I'm trying to like cut calories and I fancy a beer. Fizzy water like actually kind of replaces that urge.
Yeah, it's definitely got I do the same with fizzy drinks. Instead of a fizzy drink, I have a fizzy drink.
Yeah.
But it's got the same cold, chemically fizzy drink feel to it.
Yeah.
Without loads of sugar in it. But yeah, never really trusted it. I've known people who only drink it. And I think the problem is I drink so much. Like I'm getting back into the habit of just drinking water again. It's kind of easing myself back into it. And I've got these like litre bottles that I just fill up with water.
Yeah.
And that's one drink for me. So I have to get multiple litre bottles of stuff.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, but I just drink a lot. Part of it is diabetes, I think, and part of it is just habit. I've always kind of just drank.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, with fizzy drink, you can't drink as much. With fizzy water, I can't drink as much.
On the opposite, I barely drink anything. Like, to the point where Vix often worries. And it's like, it's...
My mum barely drinks at all, maybe like a glass of water a day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Before I go to bed, I drink 2 litres of water.
I wonder if is it the way that you're made up, or is it purely based on habit?
When I was bodybuilding at uni, I read that you should drink as much water as you should always drink water. So I think I crossed a mental barrier when it came to how much you can drink, because I'd almost see it as a challenge and be like, right, I need to drink 10 litres of water today.
Yeah.
So I would do it, and now they're somewhat ingrained in habit.
But the disingenuous thing about that, you need to drink 2 or 3 litres of water a day thing, is that all of those. Anyone saying that never accounts for the water that's actually in your food, which is a hell of a lot of water.
Well, the thing I read, Adi McNabb, when I was in primary school, what they do in the jungle is your urine just needs to be clear all the time.
Yeah.
It's the gauge to go by.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Again, like not to divulge too much information, but like mine genuinely is, or generally, so not genuinely. And that's from like 2-3 cups of coffee a day. And maybe a pint of juice in the evening.
It's crazy. Yeah. I just drink insane. But I don't eat very much. I just drink.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's how it goes. Anyway, that's me and the audience.
Nice. All right. I guess I'll go into it.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
First one of 2020. According to Shelley Saltman, Evel Knievel was a pill-popping drunk, an anti-Semite, and an all-round immoral piece of shit. To prove that he wasn't, Knievel attempted to beat Shelley to death with a bat.
Oh.
Good proving there.
Yeah, let's science.
Yeah.
Let's prove this theory.
I think there's more to it. So like, Shelley wrote he wrote a book about Evel Knievel and saying all this shit. Right. But this was only after Knievel attempted some jump on a rocket-powered bike and failed. Nice. And Shelley was an investor in this. So Knievel failed, and then Shelley wrote this book. So like Knievel was just really pissed off and tried to beat him to death with a bat. So I don't actually know if he's right. If Knievel was just
pill popping, you go like, yeah, he's fucking dead. He's gonna be in constant pain his entire life.
Yeah,
he's gonna pop some pills.
He's gonna drink because
I can understand that. So when he gets like his political views, you're like, that seems like a weird
anti-Semite. But again, it was the 70s at this point, so it's like it's definitely not a good thing, but it was definitely more widespread, I think, in the same way that racism was.
Must be. I'm still fascinated.
Yeah.
Someone tried to give me an explanation for that, which was the paranoid. It's the same thing as the stonecutters, not the stonecutters.
The Illuminati.
Yeah, are they called the stonecutters in real life, or is that just the Simpsons?
Oh, the Masons.
Stonemasons. Yeah, it's that same theory of like they're controlling and manipulating the world. That's the same view apparently anti-Semites have of Jewish people, is that they're manipulating the world. You go like, you're just a moron then.
Yeah.
With racism and stuff, you're definitely an idiot, but you're like a violent idiot. Like that's kind of feels more.
It's always
aggressive.
People who've drawn these weird conclusions been like, and who's at the head of this organization? A wealthy Jewish guy. And who's at the head of this one? A wealthy Jewish guy. It's like, yeah, but who's at the head of this one? A wealthy non-Jewish woman. Like it doesn't really draw any conclusion. All you're really saying is Jewish people tend to be good with money. Which I'm just like, well, there's all of this community in Salford and this big community of Jewish people in London who might be good with money, but on the whole are just normal middle class people.
Yeah. But I mean, what? How do you react to that?
Why does it matter?
That's the thing. That's the thing where it just goes like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
like you're just thick, and you just, oh well, it's like the same thing. Like, oh, Donald Trump's got the launch codes, and it's gonna be nuclear war.
Well,
who cares?
Been nearly 4 years now. Still waiting on that launch.
Who cares? And so what? Like, are you gonna stop it?
Yeah,
or are you just gonna? But it's that distraction, I think, to try and alleviate responsibility as well, of being like, well, the world's going to end, so I don't have to brush my teeth. Well, the point I was going with that one fits into that as well, actually, in that people being outraged and the people demonizing you, I think are just so small, it's absolutely crazy. Like, anytime I read anything with outrage from now on, 2020, I'm going to try and figure out just how many people are outraged.
Oh, yeah.
Just see how many tweets exactly people are furious about.
But that's the other thing. It's
Could
like
be one person.
Twitter is seen as this, like, as like a representative of how so many people feel.
Yeah.
When it's like, it's only got a couple of million active users worldwide. Yeah.
And just some people might be taking the piss.
Yeah.
And you can justify saying people are outraged if 3 people tweeted about it. And it doesn't fit the narrative. You just go like,
And how many people agree with this just because they've read it?
Yeah, yeah. Or they haven't read. I mean, that thing about the Norwegian dad yelling at kids. There was 2 tweets in the article.
Yeah.
About people saying how despicable it was.
Yeah.
And you go,
and they say
maybe they just read
Twitter's gone wild about it. Yeah. It's like, well, have they? Or have these 2 guys gone mad about it?
Maybe those 2 people read the full article and are angry for some reason. Maybe they just read the headline and were angry about it for some reason. Maybe they just needed to tweet something, so they tweeted that.
Yeah.
And it's like, just those 2 people. It's like, oh my God, the whole world is on fire, when in fact only Australia's on fire.
That was
and it still is on fire. I saw a video today. Jesus Christ.
It's
like, if you think the American, California, Oregon wildfires were bad,
where they've got
this is bad.
That's the thing. Like, America's got the rest of the country. At worst, they can. It's a big operation, but you can evacuate a state. No, but you've got all of this land.
There was video footage in America of them driving through the fires, and it was like, this is a hellscape. And it's like, yeah, if you look at the Australian videos, that is a hellscape.
Yeah.
That's like the whole world is red.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there
was a woman evacuating her kids from Sydney on a boat. Where are you going, love? Like, the whole country's on
Go to
fire. It's
sea.
like, well, I guess we'll just stay in the ocean.
Go to Indonesia.
Yeah.
Chill out
Might
there
get
for
to
a
New
while.
Zealand, maybe.
But yeah, only
Yeah,
Australia's
no,
not.
Australia's just in a bad way at the minute.
It is strange how little it's
Like
covered.
the prime minister of Australia went to visit a town and got booed out of the town.
I read that. I assumed it was because he went on holiday,
Yeah, well,
and then
he's
came back and was
yeah,
like,
his
"Sorry, I
approval
didn't mean to
rating's
go on
pretty low at the minute.
burning down with the rest of the country.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it is crazy how that's not really a thing. But then I guess America was the same, right? America was on
Yeah.
fire regularly. You hear
well,
about
like
it a
they've
little
got
bit.
they've got the military involved now. They've got this and all
Navy.
of this stuff. I guess trying to evacuate people. But what they've said is really the only thing that can fix it is prolonged heavy rain. And like, so what do? You just pray.
I read that the fires have been going on for so long, they've generated their own biome. As in, the smoke is generating its own weather.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
like ash. You know, I imagine bad rain.
Yeah.
It's prolonging it. It's just like, oh my god.
Christ. Yeah.
But it's weird how like I'm assuming the world is intervening, but I don't have any proof that they are.
yeah,
It feels like
you'd
just
hope so.
Australia is dealing with this.
Yeah, but again, it's like, what do you do?
Fly planes, put water on it,
Yeah, but I was like, well, if you
throw
soak,
salt on it.
if you soak, the only thing I was like, well, why isn't there a thing where like you've got huge industrial pumps that can just blow seawater into the sky and just cause it? But then I was like, well, then you're technically salting the earth. Like nothing will grow
Well, yeah, but
ever again.
so it's burning the earth, right? That's still
No,
pretty
because stuff
bad.
once it's gone out, things will grow again. Like there's large
What about,
swathes
like
of
foam. Throw some foam on it. Make it a nice foamy country. Just turns it into one big giant bouncy castle.
yeah.
Yeah. But it feels like the world could intervene, right? You could send over the UN army or whatever.
Yeah.
It did feel strange that it's only Australia. And I don't know this for sure. It's just, I've only seen it a little bit and it's always been how Australia's dealing with it.
Yeah.
It feels like this is a giant natural disaster that could be helped by everybody in the world.
Yeah.
And we're just like, you're on fire.
Yeah. In a situation where like the world was a population of ants would just throw themselves on the fire until it was out. But people are a bit more complicated than that.
Jesus Christ.
We're a bit more self-serving.
Yeah.
We're not willing to.
Right. If they were on their way to a 1-year-old's birthday party, like, yeah, fuck it, jump on the fire. No, but you can. Yeah, it just feels like more people could help, and it feels like they're not.
Everyone bring a watering can.
Yeah, or just a fire extinguisher. Everyone bring their fire extinguishers around.
Yeah.
Help out. Bring more fire departments. It's a big fire. I don't think one country has enough
That's the thing.
firemen for
It's a
24/7.
fire that's covering like pretty much the entire coast of a massive country now. It's like, what do you?
So the world could get involved. They don't feel right.
Feels
Feels like it should be, right?
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd be well up for
weird that it's
every
not.
country like putting money towards sorting that out because you can't.
Sending boats over
Yeah.
and just soaking it from.
Let's say you're from a cold, hard, conservative standpoint of like this is going to cost us money. It's like, well, it's going to cost you a trade partner, an entire trade partner,
Lives.
because like if you want to look at it from like what's this going to do for me, it's like, well, it's going to mean they'll keep trading with you because they
They'll be
won't be
alive.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I read somewhere, it was a dramatic thing, and I was shocked at first, and I remembered what it actually said. It said 500 million animals and plants have already died in the Australian fires. And you're like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then you think, plants? Yeah, I'm sure 500 million plants have died in a fire.
yeah,
But who cares? If 500 million animals died, that's insane.
yeah.
But 500 million plants and animals.
But
you'd
then
be like,
even
yeah,
more
sure.
animals will die even if they don't burn because they rely on the plants.
Yeah.
So I guess it does matter.
Oh, yeah,
It's just you don't have empathy for a plant.
Yeah, who cares about the plant statistics?
Yeah.
Biologists, I guess. Yeah, sure, go for it. But don't tell me how many plants died in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
I don't care. Maybe that's really wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, so Evil Knievel was a twat.
Well, yeah. He tried to right his wrong by beating someone up.
Yeah.
With a bat? Was it a bat?
An aluminium baseball bat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I never understood. Get a wood one.
A wood one's more satisfying, but aluminium ones for some reason are more widely available. I wanted a wooden one, but they only had an aluminium one.
I had an aluminium one when I was sad when I was a kid. It's in America as well. We used to play baseball on
It's not as good a sound, is it?
In the cul-de-sac.
Like, you don't want a tinny sound. You want a good wood thunk.
It seems to vibrate more, is what it was. I had one of those things, I don't know whether you had them in the area, but it was like a cone that you put the ball in, you press a thing, and it pops it up.
Oh, I've seen them. I've never used them.
Yeah, we used to have those and play it in the front garden in Seattle. Smack!
It's satisfying.
Cars! Yeah.
Paul Brown's claim to fame is almost as bland as his name and probably his marriage, but nonetheless, it still somehow netted him $13 million when he invented the upside-down squeezy bottle. Now used by companies the world over for dispensing sauces and shampoos, Paul Brown is living proof that you don't have to be clever, inspirational, well-liked, or even the slightest bit interesting to be rich. All you have to do is take someone else's invention and turn it upside down.
I don't understand. It's like a ketchup squeezy bottle.
Yeah. So you know the lids on the bottom?
Yeah.
So you just open the lid and squeeze. Paul Brown. He invented that. As opposed to the lid being on the top and you having to turn it upside down and just give it a bit of a shake.
Oh, so it wasn't like the squeezy thing was on top.
No.
It was
so
like, it was the shake it out. And now you invented the squeezy release.
Well, he didn't even invent the plastic bottle. He invented the fact that it could be upside down. So he just made the lid a bit bigger and then turned it upside down.
Right.
Paul Brown.
It makes sense.
$13 million.
Makes sense. It's kind of ironic that I don't think brown sauce has that, but maybe it does.
Ours does, yeah. We got Paul Brown's brown sauce, yeah. Shampoo bottles, all of that. It's all like that now. Yeah.
Lube.
Yeah.
Probably proud of that.
He woke up one day and just went like that. $13 million.
It makes perfect. It's one of those things that you would do in your own house to make yourself more convenient.
Yeah.
I can understand how you'd be like, well, instead of ketchup, just being like, you have to shake the ketchup every time to get something. But no, I'll just start doing that.
Yeah.
And eventually Heads and Shoulders will do it.
Yeah. Everyone. Well, that's the thing. He copyrighted it and then sold it to all these companies. $13 million.
I've copyrighted 180 degrees.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Just anything 180 degrees?
That's me now. Yeah, I took your bottle and made it my bottle. It's just irritating. I mean, well done. $13 million, but like, good Lord.
Well done, but I don't like you. I don't think you suffered enough.
For your art.
Yeah, for your more ketchup.
Yeah.
Paul Brown.
I'll try and get this guy's last name right. Alexander Kluyev. I'll go Kluyev. Alexander Kluyev, Russian pilot of the Aeroflot Flight 6502, like many Russians, was a risk taker. Upon coming into land, he made a bet with his co-pilot that he could land the plane blind using only his instruments. Long story short, 70 people died. What a hero.
Just that moment. Like, how about we mix it up a little bit?
Yeah. Apparently he drew the curtain across the cockpit window.
Oh my God.
Like...
That's worse than closing your eyes.
Yeah, no, didn't even close it. Drew the curtains. Like, no, so I've got my instruments.
Why does a plane have curtains? Why does the front windshield of a plane have curtains on it?
My only thought was like...
It's not like a truck where you stop off in the services and you have a quick sleep.
Well, yeah, I guess someone's got to be awake at all times, haven't they? So, like, you don't...
Yeah.
Like, the pilots are allowed to sleep, but in shifts. So, like, the co-pilot's awake. So, yeah, but...
Close the curtain to responsibility.
Yeah.
And all these people's future memories.
Yeah. There were 94 people on the plane. 70 of them died.
24 were fine.
Yeah. It landed. Apparently, the plane just ended upside down on the runway.
Paul Brown was flying it. It's a great idea. I'll take your plane. I'll kill 70 people. I'll kill fucking 65% of your whole crew. Of your passenger load.
Yeah.
But without that, there'd be no innovation. You know what I mean?
What, without Paul Brown?
Without that risk taking. It's that thing.
I don't think it's innovative to kill 70 people.
Well, you have to be
It's not innovative to crash a plane.
No, but that experiment to see if you can do it without...
Just don't do it while there's other people on the plane for a bet.
Something I read was, there's loads of films that are like, the pilots are dead.
Yeah.
Someone
needs to learn to land this plane.
Never happened.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, never.
Oh.
And they're like, if it did, everyone would die. You'd be like, you can't teach something. Modern technology, maybe, but you go like, nobody can land a fucking plane if they've never done it before.
Yeah.
But then, like lighter aircraft, I think that you can.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, you can be like talked through it.
Not a fucking massive plane.
Well, they don't trust you to be on a parachute by yourself for the first time. And it's like, there's no...
Yeah.
Like, all you have to do is wait.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you got to land without smashing your joints.
Yeah, get to the end and... All right, wait. And then when you get to the round, just run a bit.
Well, I guess as well, like directing your descent, right? Someone's like just... Whoop. Well, he's gone into the Atlantic now.
Yeah.
All right. We suggest you don't do it. Fuck you. Go into the sea. Yeah.
It's slight tangent. So I got a drone recently, and I haven't had one before. And I always thought it'd be quite cool to kind of fly around, but I didn't take into account that it's actually kind of terrifying, like to send all that money just up into the air. And
was it expensive? Was it? Can you get like
just
quite cheap ones?
Yeah, you can get, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but just to trust it, like it's gonna be all right. Like it's just weird. It's weird, and they've got all of this capability now where they can land themselves. Like if you lose connectivity, they'll come back. Like it's got sensors, so it won't hit things a lot of the time.
If it sees Sarah Connor, it just immediately kills her.
Yeah, like the capabilities of them are great, but it's still a weird. Like I got it up to 30 meters on the first day, and it's just like this isn't. It's frightening. Like it's weird. It's I'm still not used to it. It's going to take me a while to get used to it. But apparently you're allowed to go up legally to 120 meters, which is about 400 feet, and beyond that you'll start entering airspace where other things are. So you're not allowed to.
Yeah,
but I don't.
This is Russian pilots taking bets.
But I can hit that drone. Yeah, but
it'd be the same as everything else. It must have been weird when you went out with an expensive camera for the first time, like a pub.
Yeah.
Like, this
is weird. Yeah, but you just gotta just trust that it's not just gonna fall out of the sky, I guess. And there's no lives at risk. Nothing's at stake apart from your investment. But it's just
they're pretty crash proof, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty sturdy. They have to be, but it's still like if it's not going to survive a fall from 120 meters, like it's just and water, any kind of water, fucked.
I saw someone put like empty water bottles on each of the legs.
Oh,
they acted as a buoyancy.
Yeah, I saw something like
kind
that.
of clever.
But then but then it's like I don't know, just really strange.
There was something that I think you invested in a Kickstarter years ago, which was kind of a drone idea, right? That was like it followed you. Yeah,
they do that now generally,
right.
As a thing. But at the time, it was quite innovative. But the company never got off the ground, so you just ended up having to get the money back. Yeah. But it's
could be some interesting shots though.
Yeah. Capabilities of them are really interesting.
I've got an idea for one. I've got an idea for a project.
Okay.
That I want you to be involved in as little as possible because of the reveal.
But there's certain shots that you'll need help
with.
with.
And those shots I think won't give away the rest of it.
Okay.
But the bigger issue is that it's a big project out of my skill set, probably out of your skill set, that I'm just going to try and learn how to do and try and have you involved in, and then release you to at the end. And there's a drone shot in it that could be quite cool.
Cool.
Right. But could be interesting. I mean, promotional bakery video is going to take on a whole new level.
Bread in the sky.
Have you tried this from 120 meters?
I don't think people will see me baking.
No, just throw that pancake really high. We'll see it on like the horizon.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, planning a wedding is a huge undertaking. So when you do it for a living, you really have to be ready for anything. Darren Hickey, professional wedding planner, was ready for most things, but not quite everything. And at a client's wedding, upon consuming a scalding hot fish cake that burnt the burns on the inside of his throat were so severe that he couldn't breathe and he died.
Right, catering's here.
Yeah.
These better be hot. The last wedding I organised, they were cold. Are they hot?
Yeah.
A plus. A plus.
Yeah.
Fades away.
Died eating fish cakes. Not the best grave, but not the worst. Like,
it's one of the worst things to happen. Not
it's
the worst thing.
It's a horrible way to go.
But I mean, one thing that will ruin your day is if you burn the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, now I ate that pizza. It's usually pizza, just too quick.
But that's the weird thing I can't get my head around is like, if you eat something hot, your reflex, your instinct is to spit it out.
Eat it fast.
Stop eating it, not just like.
He was a wedding planner. He was the leader of that wedding. He couldn't be seen to be weak. So he had to eat it.
It's not that hot.
To death. It's not that hot. Call the coroner. The ambulance, coroner. Definitely dead.
God. It's a horrible way to go.
Burnt to throat to death.
Yeah, they said it was similar to the kind of injuries they see from people who have smoke inhalation, like during house fires and stuff.
Right.
Apparently, that's how it happens, which isn't great.
So it burnt his tongue and his throat so much that it gave off the smoke of a house fire. He choked on that.
No, just I
He's got a house fire in his mouth.
Apart from like the carbon monoxide and all of that stuff, apparently the worst thing with smoke is that it burns your insides, and it was the same kind of thing, and it just meant he couldn't breathe. It was too painful to breathe. It's just
happy wedding.
Yeah, happy wedding day.
Did you have a wedding planner?
No.
Like
it feels like more of an upmarket thing, I think. But some venues come with them built in. Like they'll have a wedding planner that works at their venue, so they just plan everything that happens at that venue.
Yeah.
We had that sort of, like they would organise the day,
kind of thing.
Like the order of events at the time, so they would make sure that all the food was on time and all of that kind of stuff. But that's not specifically a wedding planner. Like they're not ordering your flowers and all that shit.
Going through cakes and shit. They're just like organizer, helper.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. And finally, America's first space shuttle was supposed to be called the Constitution, a fitting galactic representative of the lauded upholding of individual rights and freedoms that had enabled the USA to achieve this technological milestone. However, said freedoms also enabled a bunch of stupid Trekkies to complain to NASA en masse until they caved in like the bunch of Nazi-sympathising cowards that they are and renamed the shuttle the Enterprise.
Is that real?
It's real. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it could have been mutually pleasant.
Well, I think they did it all like light-hearted and stuff. But if I made a spaceship and was like, I'm gonna call this the Constitution, and a bunch of morons called me complaining, oh, you should call it the Enterprise, you'd be like, fuck you. I built this. This is mine. Fuck you. I'm going to space.
But then it would have been probably worse if the Constitution blew up over the Florida skyline.
Yeah. Shouldn't have called it the Enterprise, should you?
Shouldn't have made it out of paper.
Yeah. And then they had which is Gene Roddenberry. I can't remember if he wrote Star Trek or if he created it or whatever. Right, he was there at the launch. I was like, fuck off, Gene. Like, you didn't do anything real. You wrote a show. You had nothing to do with this thing. Nothing. It just
2020.
There's no reason to get this angry about it, but
no, please.
It's just that whole thing, like, this is mine. I made this. I did all the work. Why do you get to complain about the name of it?
Like I said, I feel like I'm being a much more peacekeeper in 2020.
We're only a few days in, all right?
Yeah, 2 episodes. Just like, it might have been mutually beneficial. They might have been like, oh no, actually, yeah, that does sound like a good idea.
They were all really lighthearted about it, and we're like, oh well, fair. This will make a lot of people happy. And it doesn't really change anything about the mission.
If it was yours, you'd be like, oh, now them telling me what to name my
I'm too possessive about it now. Like, I'd be too possessive. It's like having someone else name your house. Fuck off.
Oh, so now I live in Gareth, do I? Oh, because you say so. My house, I built. I paid for it.
Yeah, I paid for it. It's mine. I live in it. It's my stuff.
I wanted to call it Sally, but no, apparently it's Gareth. So you could still call it Sally. No, you want it to be called Gareth. What is that? There must be... possessive, I guess, is a thing. But
in my head, it's not unreasonable. Maybe it is.
I know that feeling. I'm just curious because, like, I'd be the same. But my assumption is that they wouldn't have let it pass.
Like, imagine allowing someone else to name your dog. I mean, like, well, I've still got a dog. I'm still happy having a dog.
But my assumption is I wouldn't let them change the name of my dog without me accepting, without me being on board.
Yeah.
So, like, whoever made the spaceship, whoever
they would have, they agreed, but it's just.
But your feeling is that they were probably reluctant about it.
My feeling,
for God's sake,
is that if you've put so much time and money into this, and you've decided for a reason to call it something like the Constitution or whatever, that there's no reason whatsoever to cave to the pressures of these fucking morons.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're happy to do so, fine. You're a coward, but fine.
Coward for renaming it to something that you want to rename it to?
No,
exactly.
Because
the assumption is that he's doing it against his will.
Yeah,
and there's no evidence of that. It's just your feeling of it would totally be against your will. You'd totally be on board for that.
Yeah.
To say, same thing as it, or if it was brilliant. It's still my favourite example of Steve. It's you started doing creative stuff. You started like doing covers of songs.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago now.
Yeah, and you're enjoying it, and you're doing it every week. It was consistent, and then you had like friends of yours who were like, "Oh, Steve, this is really inspiring. I'd love to do this," and you're like, "Fuck off!" It's like, but Steve, maybe we can do something. Fuck you! I'm doing my thing. Don't take my thing and do it something else. I didn't invent this. I stole it from somebody else, but. And it's like it's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's the same kind of wiring, I guess.
It's
being like, I'm doing something and now somebody else is coming over to spoil it, and it's just like, no, can you just leave me alone?
Yeah,
it's called Constitution. No, it's not. No, I guess so. Fine, whatever you say, whatever I can say if you leave me alone.
I think part of it is also that I assumed the tone of voice of the people that were calling in. Like, well, actually, I think it would make more sense if you called it the Enterprise.
And then just eventually just being eroded down to being like, fine, just stop calling.
And then those people being like, we won. Fuck you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't care. Launch.
Yeah. When it gets up there, blow it up. I don't care anymore.
I'm going to make my own Constitution, and it's going to be C4 in the base. Fuck you and your Enterprise. There's a new Enterprise coming, a new Star Trek coming out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, with just really old Patrick Stewart in it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Is it a film or is it a series?
Series.
So I never really watched the series. I've not got anything against it. I never really bothered. I watched the films, the newest films, and I actually quite like those. The Chris Pine ones.
Yeah.
I actually thought they were really good. But yeah, the series. I think at the time when I could have been watching it, there was too much stigma around it as like. Kind of a nerdy thing, and I avoided it. But like,
I got into it very late. I watched like Star Trek Voyager when I was a kid. I think that was the current one when I was a kid. But I didn't really watch the Next Generation for a long time. Only like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Then started getting into it and stuff. Like seems pretty happy, pretty chilled.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd like it. I just
maybe hasn't dated that badly.
No,
like the Next Generation hasn't really. I mean, it's kind of dated quite well. I mean, they were dealing with gender fluidity in the 90s.
Oh, right.
Like in like one episode or whatever. Be like, oh, this is a weird thing to crop up in the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like that's like sitcom-y kind of feel, soapy feel to it, but still interesting, very geeky.
Yeah, yeah. Although I quite like, I've watched all of the Orville. Fucking love the Orville.
I didn't watch the second season of that yet.
No,
the first season. It's like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, they didn't. I think the first season they leaned into the funny a bit. Like beyond that, though, it's become like a platform where we don't have to be funny. We can just kind of tell good stories, and I really love it. I think it's really well done. Yeah,
forgot about the Orville. Back on season 2.
Yeah, that's me this week.
Yeah, busy week.
Getting angry about
busy 2 days.
Yeah. This has been a hectic production week. It feels like. Yeah. Although I say that I didn't prep anything for the last show.
Do anything last record. Hectic, crazy. But still record stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm at Nick Step.
I am at Sing It Steve.
We are at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Have we decided about Twitter?
Well, I might try and do Twitter again.
Okay.
That was my New Year's thing, and I just haven't.
Try doing this thing you don't like. I've decided I'm not going to do it. Try it again.
Yeah. The weird splashy thing still on the screen at the moment. We're also wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com for emails.
Yeah, send us stories and stupid things that you found. We'll go through it.
But yeah, I did like a weird Twitter joke thing, joke a day.
You did that for a while.
3 years ago or something like that. I did that for a good couple of months. I was like, I could maybe do that again. Could be a good exercise. But there's loads of writing exercises I want to try.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to be that good, but we'll see. Right. The problem is I can write puns, but I hate puns.
Yeah.
But I can write them even they're not really conventional puns, but I still hate them. And it feels horrible doing them. I don't know how much more of that I want in my life. Yeah. But Twitter jokes, maybe. Who knows? So yeah, if I do Twitter a bit more, I might try and swing Twitter back in. End of the day, selecting one social media, I think, comes down to which one do you prioritize. I think it's easy enough at the moment for the next foreseeable future to post everything to everywhere, like tweet style, and then just see what happens. But then eventually be like, look, if you're going to interact with us, this is where. And if we're going to communicate and post more, it's going to be on one of these channels, maybe. Yeah. Something like that. So we'll see. But yeah. Righty-ho. Cool. Yeah, we'll call it there.